G'day, I'm Broads from Street Machine. This is Josh from Milwaukee, and we're here today to present the winner of the 2023 Young Street Machine of the Year Award with his check. Let's head inside and meet him.
Hi, my name's Greenhouse Party. I'm 18 years old and I'm the winner of the 2023 Milwaukee Street Machine of the Year. When I got the call to win the Milwaukee 2023 Street Machine of the Year, I was wrapped. Me and my other few apprentices, we were screaming, running around. Got on the phone straight away to my dad. I couldn't believe it. I was in complete shock. Never did I expect to win. But yeah, super grateful and blessed that I got the opportunity, and yeah, I get to get my name out there and show off my build. How I got into cars, through my father and his uncles and cousins. Pretty much everyone has cars, and growing up, being around the race cars, Dad's always been building race cars and going to the track and going to car meets, and yeah, I was pretty much born into it. It's been in my blood, and ever since then I've been in the garage and getting dirty and helping him. I ended up with this Anglia just from Dad, always liking anglers. He's always had a few, and his uncles, and I didn't want it at first but eventually I come around it, and once I started to get into it and start fabricating it, yeah, it ended up being better than what I'd ever expect it to be. When I first picked it up, it was just a shell. From there, it came home, and me and Dad, we cut it all up, and it was just the shell and the outer rails. We dropped in a new 3x2 tube box chassis and a full chrome molly cage underneath. It also then got full sheet metal flooring, swage, big tubs, 9-inch diff, and all the other little goodies and fabrication. The seals, the roof have all been extended and welded in. The doors have been repressed and remade. All the guards and gaps have been moved and cut and changed. There's nothing that's original in the car, and everything's been customized and fabricated. Really got into this car around COVID time. Spent pretty much 3-4 weeks dedicated, me and my father in the shed all day, all night. I really got stuck into the fabrication, learning from my old man, doing the sheet metal, doing the tubs, learning how to weld, how to cut, how to make things work when they don't work the first time, working out all the geometry on the suspension, the arms, the lengths, just coming up with ideas and little creations and little secret little pockets and holes, and how to make everything work around each other. It was a real big learning experience from me. Just having everyone around really just helped. The driveline in this car, it's got a 9-inch diff, turbo 400 and a barra. It's also running 6-inch front rims, 10-inch rear rims with a 15-inch tyre for the big fat stance. We built it to be adaptable for later in the future. Obviously everyone loves the barras, but if I don't want the turbo and I don't want the big barra, we've made it with a custom-made adapter plate, so we can pull out the motor and stick a small block or any kind of 350 Chev under it, and a big blower or whatever the route might be for later on. The aspirated barra was because obviously for legal reasons, so I can still drive the car. If it was my way, it would be the turbo, but for now it still makes plenty of power and it still gets down, so it will stay like this until I'm off my P's, and maybe a turbo or a big blown engine might go in it, and we'll have some real good fun in it. The engineering was quite an easy process. You can download the information and the sheets for the rego and what you need. So from there, we pretty much done everything to the build spec and to what will pass in engineering. When the time came for the car to be engineered and it to get its paperwork signed off and certificate, there was just one spring washer missing. But overall, it's a pretty easy process to get through, much easier than doing a full rego car, and a lot faster, but also you have to call up every time you use the car. So besides that, it makes life a lot easier, and it's a lot cheaper as well. The first time I ever drove it was actually on my birthday. We had just finished it and got rego on the Wednesday. And the Hot Rod Nationals was the next day on the Thursday, so I didn't get much time. Me and Dad went for a quick drive around the block before we had to go out to some dinner. So yeah, it was quite relaxing. There was still lots of little bits that had to be fixed and changed, but the weekend on the Hot Rod Nationals, A few of my mates got in the back of it and we just got to cruise around, went to go get some ice cream, and it felt good. It was quite different feeling from just having a normal car to jumping into one of these. The feeling of having everything in your hands and the power at the wheel. Yeah, nothing can beat that feeling, and the first time, the nerves, and just hoping that it doesn't break down on you, having enough fuel. There was also a bit of problems when we first built it. The gearbox, we only had 2-speed, turbo 400. So once we finished that up a few weeks ago, yeah, the car has been on song, it's been snapping into gears, and it's so much different to drive. Especially with the 457 diff gears in it, it's very short. So down the highway, it's screaming its head off. But yeah, no, it gets down and it's quite fast. And yeah, I just really want to keep driving it. I want to keep experiencing more things, take it to more shows, maybe win some more trophies, and yeah, we'll see how we go in the future. To be 18 years old and build a car to this standard, you've got to give up a lot of time in the shed, late nights, early mornings, getting really dirty, not going out with your friends and spending time just in the garage and having a few boys around and putting the music on nice and loud, just focusing on the car, and every week going in and out of work, grinding 40, 50 hours, 60 hours a week just to make a bit more money, hustling on the side, doing my Straight Elite business just to make that bit of extra cash flow. Everything goes a long way, and finding cheaper parts and doing things yourself, saving yourself a lot of money, helps in the long run, especially when it comes to when there's double figures involved. Just doing all the body work, doing all the fabrication, doing all the suspension, all the aligning of the parts, getting everything ordered. You save yourself a lot of money, a lot of time, and yeah. Me and my dad, we picked up a Vale in December, just before Christmas for me, as I didn't really want this car originally. It wasn't my favourite car, wasn't the favourite. It didn't have anything special going about it, and I always had a spot for a Vale. So I ended up purchasing a Vale, and I've fully restored it, got it back to its glory days, and at the moment just get to enjoy that when I can. But since I finished this, all I do is just drive this one and take this one out to shows. So that one's been in the shed neglected, but when I finished this had my heart and my attention. So I've really just been focused on this car, getting it done over the last few months. And yeah, now the reward is to drive it and get to go out with my old man and my parents and my sisters, my mates. Everyone loves to get in it and everyone wants to take control and have their own little drive, but it's in my hands from now on. My experience so far has been nothing but amazing. Just from the start, having people I know in the competition, going to car events, seeing them. Everyone's talking, everyone's trying to get a few more votes and trying to get their way up the ladder. Going to the 9 News for the Young Street Machine was quite good. There was got to meet all the other contestants. It was an amazing experience to be on the news, and for everyone to see my car, and my friends and my family always ringing me up straight after that they see me on the news. The next morning walking into the wholesaler and the ladies recognising me that I was on the news was pretty amazing. It was a bit surreal, but yeah. I think maybe the reason why I did so well was just getting out there. I had QR codes in front of the cars at car shows. I had friends and family sharing it. Always, just every show I went to, if I was to win something, if I wasn't, I was posting the car and telling everyone to vote. Yeah. I think I spent the $2.5 from Milwaukee on maybe some more tyres, some fuel just so I can get out there and cruise it with some mates, and yeah, and just probably keep the money aside for the turbo for later on down the line. A big thank you to everyone that's helped out on the car, my father especially for helping me build the car, supporting me, being there in the sheds late nights, early mornings, and my mother, my sisters for always providing for us and making sure we've always got plenty of food while building these cars. My mates, Straight Elite Detailing for detailing the car and getting it ready for the shows, Milwaukee for the prize money and all the goodies, and for Street Machine for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this, and looking forward to the next. For anyone that wants to have a crack next year at the Young Street Machine of the Year, I really recommend promoting the car, getting QR codes, getting out there to car shows, events, and getting your friends and family to share it around on social medias. And if anything like me and you're into cars, make sure you get yourself entered in for next year and get yourself around and involved in the competition. If you're not in it, you won't win it. So just make sure you're in there, have a good go, and yeah, just go from there.